What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weer. I love talking about movies, and we have made it to the third month of 2026. March of 2026 is officially here, and as always on this channel, with a brand new month comes a brand new slate of movies. Now, this is a video series that I've been doing for a couple of years now, where at the beginning of every month, I talk about all of the movies that are coming out that month that I'm excited for, the ones that are on my personal radar. But as always, it's never just about my list, it's about your list as well. And so let me know in that comment section down below all of the movies that are coming out in March that you're excited about, or maybe if I leave something off of this list, maybe it's going to theaters but it's limited, or maybe it's going to streaming. Either way, if you're excited about the movie, throw it in the comment section down below. Let me know why you're excited and why I should check it out. And finally, guys, before getting into the brand new movies, if this is the first time you found my channel, well, I would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button, check out all the different content that I have. Whether you like movie reviews, Blu-ray talk, or even ranked list videos, I've got a little bit of everything on my channel, and I'd love for you guys to check it out. All right, let's get into March of 2026 brand new movie releases.
Here we go.
That is one big pile of shit.
No, I shot him. Bullets in the fall killed him.
Coming out on March 6th, the first weekend of the month, we have two movies to talk about. The first movie is called War Machine. This movie is going directly to Netflix, and the film stars Alan Ritchson as an army ranger who, along with his team, end up going against some sort of alien technology. It's this big robot or war machine that seems to be able to track their every move. So he, along with his team, not only have to try and stay alive, but they have to try and defeat this war machine. I've only seen the trailer one time, and the movie looks fun enough. Netflix has had a decent track record so far at the end of 2025 and in early 2026, so I'm hoping for the best out of War Machine. And the other movie coming out the first weekend of the month is called The Bride. This film will be the theatrical release of the weekend, and it is a reimagining of the Bride of Frankenstein story. This film is directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and it stars Jessie Buckley as the bride, while starring Christian Bale as the Frankenstein monster, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal as a character named Ronnie Reed. What his role will be in this movie, I'm not really sure. I thought originally he was going to be Dr. Frankenstein that created both the Frankenstein monster and the bride, but that's not what the trailers look like. Either way, I'm excited about this film. I'm hoping The Bride is a fun time. That moves us on to the second weekend of the month. On March 13th, we have two more movies coming out, and no, neither one of them is a Friday the 13th film. How in the world do the rights holders for Friday the 13th continue to let another Friday the 13th in 2026 slip by without releasing a brand new Friday the 13th film or even re-releasing a Friday the 13th film in theaters? It makes absolutely no sense. You can be sure that on Friday the 13th in March of 2026, I will be down here in my movie theater room watching a Friday the 13th movie, wondering why we don't have anything new in the Friday the 13th universe. And here's the thing, I understand they're making a Crystal Lake TV show. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a teaser trailer for that Crystal Lake TV show on Friday the 13th in March. That would be the smartest thing that they could do, but because it's smart, they probably won't do it. But with that Friday the 13th rant out of the way, there are two movies going to theaters that day, and I'm excited for both of them. The first one is a re-release that goes all the way back to 1991, all the way back to my own personal childhood, and it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze returning to theaters, and I'm so very excited about this. Of course, last year we got the original TMNT film in theaters. I took my son to see that. It was his first viewing of that movie, and he absolutely had a great time. And I thought about showing him Secret of the Ooze over the last year, but then I heard that they were re-releasing it in 2026, and so I decided to wait on that. And again, I will be taking my son to the movie theater to experience a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film for the very first time. I'm very excited about that. And that brings us to the other release for March 13th of 2026. This is a horror film called The Undertone, and The Undertone is a movie about a paranormal podcaster who is taking care of her dying mother. She ends up up listening to these tapes, but something she's listening to starts to haunt her in her own personal life. Listen, I am not doing the movie justice by telling you that synopsis. I saw this trailer in the theater and it absolutely creeped me out. The sound design of this movie alone is what I'm the most excited for, because when I thought this movie trailer had ended in the theater, when I thought it was moving on to the next preview, there was a voice behind me and it wasn't anybody in the crowd. It was just from one of the speakers, because the trailer was creeping you out just one more time. Because of that creepy sound design that was in this trailer, I am very much so looking forward to the undertone. Are you guys going to check out this movie on opening weekend? That brings us to the third weekend of the month, where we have 3 more movies coming out, and all of these movies are movies I need to see on opening weekend. The first movie we're going to talk about is a theatrical release, and it is Project Hail Mary. This film stars Ryan Gosling as a guy who's sent to space and has to try and save the Earth. That's really all I know about it, because I am staying away from the trailers, and I did buy the book last month thinking I would read the book before watching the movie, but I read the first chapter and I was like, you know what? I want to see this in the theater for the first time. I want to experience this film as a film for the first time, and then I'll go back to the book and I'll read that, see what they left out of the book, see what they changed. So I decided to go in with 0 spoilers, and so I'm excited for Project Hail Mary for a couple of reasons. First off, Ryan Gosling, he's a great actor, but also space. I love space on the big screen, and I'm very much so looking forward to Project Hail Mary, getting some awesome shots of space in the process. The second movie coming out on March 20th is going directly to streaming. It's another Netflix film, and it is The Immortal Man. The Immortal Man is the Peaky Blinders spin-off film, and I'm so very excited about this because the Peaky Blinders show was such a good show. It ran for 6 seasons on Netflix, and most of those seasons would end with someone from the Peaky Blinders gang getting the upper hand on the villain of that season, telling them that you don't fuck with the Peaky Blinders. However, the 6th season of Peaky Blinders did take a different path. It was more realistic, followed true events in real life, and it didn't really have somebody getting that upper hand at the end of that season. It kind of was a low note in the series, and that's why I'm so excited about a movie sort of capping off this series. I'm hoping it brings back that fuck you attitude, because speaking of things it's bringing back, we are getting Cillian Murphy returning as Thomas Shelby once again. Now, Thomas Shelby is no longer the leader of the Peaky Blinders gang in this film. It's now run by his son Duke, played by Barry Coogan, and this time around, Thomas Shelby will be coming back trying to get his son to get away from the Nazi party that the Peaky Blinders have aligned themselves with. Honestly, the thing I'm looking forward to the most out of this movie is the political intrigue, while also having some fun action scenes, and again, just that fuck you attitude that the Peaky Blinders series had. That's what I'm hoping for out of The Immortal Man. And the third movie coming out on March 20th is a horror film that I absolutely cannot wait for. This film is on my top 10 most anticipated movies list of 2026, and it is Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. This film will bring back Samara Weaving as the bride, and of course in the first film, it's about a bride on her wedding day. She gets married. It's supposed to be one of the most special, magical days of her life, but of course that evening, her new in-laws play a game of hide and seek with her. But this is a very deadly game of hide and seek, where she has to hide for her life and try to survive the night while her in-laws tried to kill her. It was a really fun film, and of course at the end of that film, the bride survived that encounter, which leads us to Ready or Not 2. And in Ready or Not 2, we are not only getting Samara Weaving back as the bride, but we are also getting Catherine Newton as her sister. Both of these two are great in horror movies, and so I'm very excited to see what they do with these two. Of course, in the trailers, it shows that wealthy families that are connected to this family that the bride killed on her wedding are now coming to play their own game of hide and seek with her and her sister, played by Catherine Newton, and they are going to try and kill them themselves. The trailers look awesome. I can't wait for Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Are you looking forward to this movie? That brings us to the final weekend in March of 2026. On March 27th, we get 3 more movies to talk about. The first one is a horror film called They Will Kill You. This movie is about a girl who takes a housekeeping job at a high-rise in New York City, only to find out that the people that live in this high-rise are part of a satanic cult where they offer sacrifices up, and this new housekeeper is going to be the sacrifice sacrifice. I've seen the trailer for this movie a couple of times. It looks to be a bit like it's in the same vein of the Ready or Not movie that comes out the previous weekend. I don't know if that'll hurt this at the box office, but I'm hoping for a bloody good time out of They Will Kill You. The second film coming out on March 27th is listed as a horror comedy film. I'm not sure why we're getting so many horror movies in March of 26, but I'm here for it. And the film is called Forbidden Fruits. This movie is about a girl who gets a job at her local mall, only to find out that there's a witch cult, not to be confused with a satanic cult from the previous film. This movie is about a witch cult that actually does witch business in the basement of the mall. I don't know how good this will be. I've only seen the trailer one time, but it was intriguing enough, and I'll probably check this out on opening weekend if I don't have too much else going on. And that brings us to the final movie coming out on March 27th. This is another re-released film, and much like Turtles 2, it is a re-released film from my childhood that I absolutely have to be seated in a theater for, and it is The Mummy Returns. I love Universal monster movies in general, but I love the Brendan Fraser Mummy films. Of course, they re-released the first Mummy movie a year or so ago. I went to the theater and got to see that on the big screen for the first time, and now we are getting The Mummy Returns on the big screen, and I can't wait to see it on the big screen for the very first time. And guys, those are all the movies coming out in March of 2026 that are on my personal radar. Don't forget to let me know which movies you're most excited about in that comment section down below. And finally, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button because it helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, we got to the end of my March 2026 upcoming movies video. I love making these videos because I get to tell you guys about all of my anticipation for these films. And of course, throughout the month, I'll be trying to do quick reactions for these movies, trying to do full movie reviews for some of these movies. I don't always get to the full movie review portion of it, but I do talk about them at the end of the month. So of course, at the end of March, I'll be doing a wrap-up video as well. So be on the lookout for all of that content. And in the meantime, if you want to check out any of the other content on my channel, well, I've got all of my best and worst of 2026 right there, and I've got all of my 2026 movie reviews right there.